Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight I am going to do something a bit different. I'm going to take a moment to remind everybody just who exactly is the cruiser supreme among all of the Tier 7 cruisers. And that is the Baltimore. Now, I know what you're thinking right off. Well, I probably don't know what you're thinking. Some of you are probably thinking, man, is my mac and cheese done yet? Some of you are probably sitting there in your beanbag chair going, what the hell has gotten into Spartan? And some of you are probably like, either this guy is a genius or he's got a camera in my house. I don't know. Anyway, we are in the Baltimore. And why do I say that the Baltimore is the best cruiser in the game? I might be slightly biased. Let's just throw that out there. Just slightly. A little bit. Was the first Tier 7 cruiser I unlocked. It's only the, one of 2 Tier 7 cruisers that I've unlocked? Okay, Spartan. So with your limited knowledge of all the Tier 7 cruisers, you think that this is the best Tier 7 cruiser in the game? Yes. Why? Well, she's got armor. She looks good. She's got the best armor-piercing rounds of any other cruiser in the game, bar none. I don't care who you think you are in a cruiser. This thing will shred you in no time when played properly. And by properly, I mean usually not in my hands, but I do play this ship pretty well. And I will show you in due time. Now, first things first, there are no destroyers. It is all cruisers and battleships that we have to worry about. And so let's start the party off with a broadside Miyoko at almost maximum. Well, he's quite a bit inside our maximum range. Why? Because this thing has fantastic range. And wait for it. Pow! 2 citadels already taking half the health of a Miyoko. Miyoko, you're disqualified from this competition. It's fine. It really is fine. I love this ship. Nobody can... oh, great. The Jean Bart. The one thing that I cannot stand... running into right off the bat is playing in true Jean Bart fashion as far away from everything as possible, because using your armor that's ridiculous at the front of your ship and all of the firepower that you're given at the front of your ship to sail forward would just be insane. Who would do such a thing? Let's sit at maximum range and try to hit people with our shotgun dispersion, which once you get within 15 kilometers becomes darn near impossible to miss. But Miyoko obviously didn't learn his lesson, so let's see if we can make sure that he learns it this time. And he decides to go forward after this. So now we miss our shot. It's going to happen. We caught him on the backside of just being able to pull away. We've got an Edinburgh pushing up on us, and we have a Jean Bart way out there that we're going to have to consider being an issue. Because anytime that you have a Jean Bart against a cruiser, bad things are about to happen to you. Now, Edinburgh being broadside on to these fantastic armor-piercing rounds, that's just playing with, bad times. But he's turning away. We only get 2 hits. One bounces, the other one penetrates. Gives us a little bit over 1,000 damage. Then we take our first hit from the Jean Bart, and it hurts. Imagine that. Jean Bart, disgusting versus cruisers. It doesn't do a whole lot of over penetrations versus cruisers, whereas other battleships do. And that means that you're in for a bad day. So I do the smart thing, which is something that I've been learning to do in cruisers, which is get yourself out of the line of fire. You don't always have to battleship everything in a cruiser. That's my biggest downfall, and this Fiji is about to... Oh my god, the island said it was fine. But we still get a decent hit. 2 shots, 2 overpins, because broadside Fiji has not enough armor for these 203mm guns to citadel him, right? Wait for it. No, we can still citadel him. He just has to be angled away slightly. That's all. Now, Edinburgh is still out there, so we're going to give him a little piece of our mind just to keep him at bay. We don't want these British cruisers pushing up on us. They have the rated fire advantage. We fire pretty quickly for a heavy cruiser, but when it comes to being a straight DPM / how fast can you get your volleys off, the Baltimore is slightly on the losing end against most of the other cruisers. In other words, ships like the Hipper, ships like the Edinburgh, ships like pretty much any other cruiser can fire faster than us. But we've got a Jean Bart, and the Jean Bart has finally decided he has a forward gear and is starting to move forward as we bounce 2 rounds off the side of his ship. But as you can see, we're staying behind the island. We don't get detected while we're shooting at him, so he can't engage us, and we are going to get some penetrations. We get 1 penetration, 1 shatter, and 2 ricochets out of that salvo, and then we go back to shooting at the Fiji, who is sitting still in a smoke screen, obviously detected. And by the time he realizes he's being shot at, it's a little late for him. And now, Jean Bart, again, we fire a little bit leading him here, and you can see he's moving under it, but not as fast as oh, hello, Belfast. Speaking of fast. That is a terrible, terrible pun, Spartan. Shame. All the shame. And I know what you're probably wondering right about this time. Spartan, why are you showing us this match? You've got 28,000 damage. It's fine. Because see those torpedoes? That hurt the Jean Bart quite a bit. And those look even better. And now we shall set forth and unleash the dogs of war. Any good commander jumps at an opportunity to take the advantage that has been presented to him. The Jean Bart was the only thing keeping me from rushing these guys and ripping them apart. And now that the Jean Bart has been obliterated, thank you to the Akatsuki who snuck out to the far right side of the map, that means that we can go on an absolute rampage. And don't worry, we're going on said rampage. Now, there's also something else that you need to appreciate about when you're in these sort of situations. Now, first of all, look at the map currently, and you can see why I'm turning hard to port. We have 3 ships that are pushing straight out to the corner of the map. That's no bueno. Doesn't make any sense for me to chase these guys. They are not going to be able to do much out there. However, if I can start to actually hit what I'm aiming at, because, you know, sometimes my aim is bad, just, you know, oh, hello, Edinburgh. How you doing? That looks pretty good. Wait for it. Pow! And 2 more citadels. He loses all of his health, and I'm about to be loaded again. Surely he learned his lesson and he'll turn away and not take these right in the mouth. But cool people don't look at explosions, giving us another citadel. And that's how quickly British cruisers get obliterated by good armor piercing. Yeah, you do not want a Baltimore who knows what he's doing to just get loose and tear you up. It's not a thing that you want to test. Now, the Fiji went down, the Edinburgh went down. I've got 3 guys behind me to deal with 1 Miyoko. We have guys encroaching on our base. We also have 2 people in the middle to defend those 3 people. So, I'm heading back to even the odds. And I'm going to get a little bit of help. And by a little bit of help, I mean we have 35,000 hit points and we are about to get into a fight with multiple battleships. And a cruiser. So we need to make sure that we put ourselves in a position that we can tank the damage. Because in a cruiser, if you're not in a position to tank the damage, you're not in a position to absorb it, and you do not want that to happen. Ask the Edinburgh. Being in broadside on to anybody with armor piercing in a cruiser is just asking for trouble. And I know that some cruisers are unable to take the damage through the front because they get overmatched and they get obliterated and citadeled right through the front of their ship anyway. So you need to use the islands to the best of your ability. Notice against the Jean Bart, I planted myself behind the island because that Jean Bart would have killed us pretty quickly. He gets plunging fire down through our deck and we are in a bad way in a hurry. Now notice our teammate has set a smoke screen just ahead of us. Now, unlike battleships, who have horrendous smoke firing penalties, the cruisers actually get a pretty decent way as far as smoke firing penalties go. And while there is still a Baltimore right in front of us, broadside on. Hello, sunshine, how you doing? Let's show why this isn't the way you play your Baltimore. Oh, okay, we incapacitated him slightly. Now it's time to be real, okay? We didn't aim very well the first time, but this one's going to be a much better salvo. And, yeah, that was never going to be a thing. Now, I should have slowed down here, because I'm actually going to overrun the smokescreen, and there are, you know, 2 battleships right out in front of us. Not the best situation to put myself into. But these German battleships have a battleship to shoot at. And you can see secondaries do some work against cruisers and destroyers, so we've got to be careful there. But even an angled Bismarck is no match for the armor piercing that we can send down range. We just aim a little higher. We're not going to get the citadels, but we don't need citadels to kill them. We just need multiple penetrations. So we aim higher up, get those shots penetrating through the upper plating and the superstructure, and you get pretty consistent damage. Now, you notice the Gneiseno is like, dude, we got to get rid of this Baltimore. I don't know if he knows me or if he just realized that I'm the better player of, you know, that's right here. I'm doing the most damage consistently because American armor piercing coupled with fast-firing 203mm guns is just disgusting. Watch this salvo, and we've been doing, you know, 6,000 damage just about every time we pull the trigger. Now, those guys look to be on a collision course, which is not preferable. Are we going to finish one more salvo before they run into each other? Oh, they missed each other. That's even better. I get another 4,000 damage off, and he's almost in position to take the rear guns as well. So now we get those on target, and we steal the kill. And I say steal the kill kind of tongue-in-cheek because, honestly, he never had that much of a chance anyway, because I was taking 6,000 damage every time I pulled the trigger with the front guns. Hey, Gneiseno, how you doing? Well, that was 1,700, not bad. We had 2 shatters there. He got lucky. He's angled, but he's not angled. But I have no intention of killing him with the guns, because, you know the other benefit of being in a heavy cruiser? Agility versus, you know, in the case of battleships, the agility is pretty good against battleships, and he's got torpedo tubes, right? So we want to stay right on the nose of his ship so that he can't possibly hit us with those torpedoes. And just as he thinks that he's going to turn to get his torpedoes off, we just lay in a collision course. Ramming speed! Wait for it. Pow! And we get our Confederate taking the kill because heavy cruiser, battleship, that's a good trade. I'll take it. And we finish the game with 126,000 damage, 4 kills, just short of our Kraken. Top of the leaderboard, 2,750 XP, and the winner, and still champion, the Baltimore. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.